Hey everyone, it's Spurs Rail 96 here. Welcome to another Train Sim World livestream. For today's stream, we are once again back on Riviera line. This time, though, taking a look at the official loco add-on for this route, specifically the Class 220 Voyager in cross-country livery. So let's take it out for a spin and see what it's like to operate. So we'll go into the journey mode. Riviera line. These are the Voyagers. Caretaker. We've got a service here straight out of the gate. Passenger service from Plymouth to Edinburgh, but obviously going as far as Exeter, St David's. So let's get going. Okay. Ooh, is it in the rain or the snow? I think it's just in misty early morning conditions. Well, we can at least see where we're going, so that's something. Okay, so we're in the cab of the 220 Voyager. What can and can't we mess around with? We'll set the lights to daytime. Okay. Is there any other external cameras we can zoom around and have a look at, see up close? Okay. So we've got a clipboard light. That works. You can just see the light there in the shadow turning on and off. Got climate control. And you can set it to either those one of those temperatures. That's what it sounds like when it's in slow mode. Let's put it on emergency. Okay. Okay, so the tail lights are on at the back. That's good. You can't turn on the hazard lights. Train stop override, you can mess around with that, albeit you can't mess around with those two buttons there. Emergency stop button. Let's unlock the doors. Okay. So that's on the left hand side, and there's doors buttons on the right hand side of the cocooned like desk here. Put the master key in. You can hear the RPM increasing there. Oops. Put the brakes in an emergency. So it's a similar kind of brake handle to what you will operate with the Class 802, whereby when you brake, you can be very precise with your braking, whereas you could see that when you accelerate, it's in like stages. So it's notch 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what have we got here? TMS level 3 fault, level 4 fault, I think. Is that what it is, or something else? Safety system. I cannot see that, it's too small for me to read, but you've got the sander you could use. I think that's a data recorder fault button, that doesn't work. So nearly all of these buttons here are not pressable. You can uncouple the multiple unit if you have two sets connected together. And the coupling button there, you've got the engine start and stop button. Car wash. That must be when you take the train through the train wash at Lara Depot. That is, if Lara Depot has a train wash, I don't know, to be honest with you. Windscreen wipers. They work. That's good. Let's put it on fast. Okay, so the sounds of the actual windscreen wipers going is almost like the sound is struggling to keep up with the motion there. Turn it off. Okay. Oh yeah, DRA. Does that work? Yes, it does. We've got another little screen down here too. What is this down here? Any buttons there? Nope. That's a dead man's pedal. I imagine that works when you turn on the appropriate safety system. What about this screen here? What's in more? Head out left. Okay. Center desk panel here. So the instrument lights are turned on automatically, it would seem. It's hard to distinguish whether they're on or not when you're in the driver camera view, but when you're up close it's much clearer to see. The GSMR radio works just like most of the other multiple units that have it in the game, so you can basically toggle the volume and the brightness. A little display here that tells you the next station, the time, where the train's actually going to. A cab light, that works. Lamp test, yep. I can see that they work. Emergency brake override. Instrument light is set to bright. Okay. Auxiliary cab heating. Okay. Works. AWS, TPWS reset button. Signal buzzer. Closing right hand doors. Okay. Is this where you contact the signaler? The phone here? Yes, it is. The horn. Doesn't sound too bad in the cab. What else is there to mess around with? Center of the desk, right desk panel, that's basically that, what we've just seen. The isolation switches. Texture on the switches is a little bit better than, much better actually than the Pendolino, which I felt the texture was very muddy and low pixelated when it came to looking at the isolation switches panel. So we can put vigilance on, set it to normal, full isolated. AWS works. Sanding, DSD. Okay. I've noticed that the running sounds in the cab, they have a very distinguishable loop, which is going to drive me absolutely insane. I hate it when the sounds, like, are clearly. I hate it when you hear sounds and it has a loop in it. So the running sounds or the engine sounds in the cab, that needs to be perfected. Because that hearing that that's going to drive me around the bend, that is. So hopefully, I mean, the audio sounds good, it just needs to be better embedded, let's say. Okay, oh, what have we got here? Okay, electricity cupboard. So you have a very small little, like, kitchen aboard, a microwave, fridge, I'm gonna guess, fridge and a freezer, maybe. Well, you can hear the noise certainly from the outside by those doors. I've opened the wrong doors. I've only just noticed that. Oh dear. Let me go back in the cab a minute. I'm such a dinglebat. Hey Bronco, hope you're well. Nice to see you again. Welcome. I've put the reverse thing forward, haven't I? Yeah, I have. Unlock the right. What does this screen then do? Is there a little specific view for it, or no? What if I go into the left desk panel? I have a slightly better view. I don't want to change controller configuration just to access it, but you can see it's got the next destination displayed, the time. What does that say? Driver, does it? Either way, it doesn't work. I presume it's touchscreen. The command button, that doesn't work either. Is that announcements there? I haven't actually heard any announcements yet. No, it would appear that it doesn't work at all. Oh no, something does work. Oh, what does that do? Let me go back to that. Oh. What does that do then? Is that the global overview? Is that what it's so small I can barely read it. Let me I'm gonna have a guess, say global overview, maybe off the train, but yeah, a bit disappointed actually. I thought there'd be a bit more functionality with that screen, like, you know, the ability to change the destinations and all that jazz. Oh, bit of a shame that, I have to say. Right, let's get out and have a look around the exterior of this train. So this DLC will cost you, if you was to pick it up separately, £12.99. So it's full loco add-on price, and it will add additional services and scenarios, and of course a tutorial to the Riviera line. There are plans to stick it on more timetables, in particular the West Coast Main Line Birmingham to Crewe, which is coming out next week, and there is also I think an update from Alan Thompson Simulation that's in the pipe work for adding additional services for the Voyager to be to operate cross-country services on the Manchester Airport commuter. So that's good already, you know, straight out of the box. There are plans to get this working on more timetables, because these are, I mean, you know, the Voyagers are everywhere, let's say. I think they come in a variety of different subclasses. I think there's the 221 Voyager as well, which is basically, I think, the 221 has an extra coach and has tilting technology, albeit if you were to have the 221 on this route, the tilting system would be disabled. I'm not sure what other parts of the network enable the tilting system to be functional. I'm sure some of you will know. But the exterior noise at idle sounds perfect. It's well embedded. Maybe not actually. It's got a slight loop actually. Has it got a loop? Either way, it sounds good. Modelled impeccably, as you would expect. This is of course a diesel multiple unit in the old school cross-country colours. Thankfully the PIS displays do work on the exterior, that's good to see. And I imagine it will be the same case on the inside for the passengers. So yeah, just the 4-coach unit. I think you can operate some services on the Riviera line which will enable you to see or operate two 220 Voyagers connected together to make an 8-coach train. Yeah, but it looks very well modelled. It would be nice if it was a little bit more grubby, but I imagine that's at the behest of cross country to, you know, make their liveries look smart and clean. Let's go inside. If the game will let me. No. It won't let me. I'll have to go into passenger compartment and see what it's like. So there's no cross-country branding like posters and stuff. That's a real shame. It seems Dovetail only tend to do that when either they're making a London Overground or a London Underground product, which really annoys me. Like, make use of the branding or the license that you've got. Make the most of it. Is this first class? I love the carpet. I love the blue colour scheme there. Obviously the displays are distinguishing if the seats are reserved or not doesn't work, but I can accept that. Yeah, the PIS displays do work. That's good. Hello. Oh no, that's the door. I thought the AI was taking over the service then. Yeah, the lighting isn't too bad. Got a luggage rack there. A wheelchair space as well. And you got a portable ramp cupboard here. Okay, that's cool. And a disabled toilet, which of course doesn't work. This here would be the guard panel, yeah. I like the passenger safety information poster there, that's cool. Gangway door. Just want to see if it's different. No. Seat slip. Like the upholstery of the seats, that's pretty well detailed. Table, could be a little bit crisper as far as the texture on that. Yeah, I think this is going to be the same, isn't it, throughout the train? Right, back we go. Back to the cab. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. This must be first class, but I can't tell if it's first class or not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just standard class from back to front. I don't know. Where I'm from, we very rarely get cross-country trains in my neck of the woods. I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 times a day. Maybe a Voyager might make an appearance at Reading. Anyway, let's go. The door's closed yet? What's going on? What? What's that noise? Lock the doors. Oh dear. There seems to be a problem with the doors locking. Are the doors locked, or is it... I've got a funny feeling it's one of those stupid random events. I'm getting sick and tired of having them. Ah! Shut the door. Let me just turn them off. I turned them off yesterday, like... Really annoys me that for some reason when you turn the settings off, you know, they're off during your play session, but when you know switch the game off, go and do something else, and you come back on and play it, it's all turned on again. Actually, no, it is disabled. What's going on then? Are they disabled or are they not? Seems like the game has a mind of its own, whether it wants to have these random events on. I mean, you know, it's realistic, yeah, of course, but I personally don't like it. I just want them turned off so I can enjoy it rather than fiddle around, mess around, waste time figuring out what the problem is. And people say, yeah, it's like real life. Yeah, well, that's what's annoying about it in real life, is that these problems happen. Right, let's just... okay, doesn't seem to be a problem there. What about the audio? I bet that's all turned on, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Turned it off, and what do you know? The game says, no, you're going to have them on. I'll turn that off as well. Didn't even hear any passengers like in the coaches, you know, talking and all that stuff. Right. Let's get in. Now we can go. Sounds pretty good when you get it moving at full power. The run sounds aren't too bad either. Hey Kettle, hope you're well. Welcome. Just having a first look at the Class 220 Voyager. Okay, so the first station stop will be Totnes. It's 20 miles away. I think the plan for this journey is to do a run from Plymouth to Exeter St David's, and then if I've got enough time I'll do another run from Exeter to Paynton. That's better. And the dials look great, so do the screens. Yeah, I'm doing good, Kettle, thank you. I've got family coming down tomorrow, so that's why I've been pumping out these first look streams on the newer routes before they come down, because I'll be unavailable to make any videos and live stream and all that stuff. I tend to usually do streams on just a Monday, but you know, I've got the week off and weekend as well coming up, so that's why I thought I'd make the most of it and pump these streams out, take a first look, see what it's like, and maybe it will save you a few pounds and pennies if you don't like it. If if you were considering to purchase it, that is. I mean, the Voyager has been heavily requested to be featured in Trade Sim World, and obviously it's really, really cool that the Voyager has finally made an appearance in the game. I'm personally not too fussed, you know, if they're there, they're there, if they're not, they're not, but, you know, it's another cool diesel multiple unit to operate on some of the British routes in the game. One route in particular, I hope that this route, this multiple unit can be added to, is the Midland Main Line. But I'm not actually sure if it's either a 221 Voyager or the 220. So I'm not actually 100% certain on that front. But certainly a Voyager would be very much welcome on the Midland Main Line. So it's a misty, foggy day on the southwest of England, in Devon. Wonder, does this train have any fog lights? Exterior lighting, night light, daylight, hazard light? No, don't think it does. I'm not sure on the in-cab hall, you know, I just... If that sounds realistic, fine. But it's a little bit quiet, too quiet for me on the interior. The exterior, I've got no problems. I'm not sure if Dovetail actually went and recorded sounds, you know, specifically, you know, they took a day out, you know, to either a depot where Voyager was located and mic'd it up and got some new sounds, or have taken sounds either from a third-party developer or modder that's, you know, had these sounds on Train Sim Classic or something like that. So I'm not really sure where they got the sounds from. Maybe they recorded them at Lara Depot the same, I don't know, the same weekend or something when they went to go and get the new sound recordings for the Class 150-2, which, by the way, sound excellent. Chuffed to bits with the new sounds with the Class 150-2. Not only because it, you know, they're good sounds, but they're embedded in the multiple unit, or they've been integrated into the multiple unit. So a little bit of information about the Voyager itself, the specific one in particular. They entered service in, I would say, 2001, and there was a fleet of 34 Class 220s that got built, traversing, you know, England and Scotland. They were very well known for operating, I think, the longest continuous rail journey in the UK, which went from Aberdeen to Penzance. Albeit that's no longer the case. It only goes as far as Plymouth now for some reason. And if you want to know about the in-depth like stats, I will tell you. just get down the speed a minute instead of looking at me notes. That will not be clever of me. I mean, we're running late, very late. What's this thing like when it comes to braking? Not too bad. Feels pretty weighty. It's good. This multiple unit also has the newer suspension physics, if you're interested in that. So they were built in two countries actually. They were built by Bombardier Transportation at either Bruges in Belgium and the Horbury Railway Works in the UK. And the capacity of the multiple unit is 174 seats for standard class, whereas in first class there's 26 seats. The body was constructed out of steel, and the prime mover is 4 Cummins QSQ-19R inline-6 turbo diesel engine, which has a displacement of 19 litres per engine, and the maximum power output, I think when you add up the traction motors, I think is just over 1200 horsepower, so that's pretty powerful, I think. Yeah, I'm not doing very well with the driving today. I was too busy looking at my notes, so apologies there. And currently they are, I think, operating under cross country, of course. I think that's it at the moment. I think it is just the 220s are specifically operated by cross country. They also some of the units have names, such as Somerset Voyager, the Forth Voyager, the Solent Voyager, the Guildford Voyager, Clyde Voyager, Thames Voyager, and the Cumbrian Voyager. And it also comes in a variety of different liveries as well. One in particular is I think like a pride, rainbowy kind of colour scheme, which I could very easily see Dovetail just putting that behind a loco or gameplay pack, you know, one of those stupid gameplay packs we have to pay £10 or £5 for, basically new liveries, and some scenarios which probably won't be that interesting, which really annoys me. Like, you know, if you just put the liveries in the package for free, you know what I mean? They used to do that, Dovetail, with the CSX locomotives, I think. What else? The Boston Sprinter, the Amtrak ACS 64, that got a new livery for free via a post launch patch, if I recall. But you know, it's another way for Dovetail to make money, unfortunately. Whereas you can, you know, quite easily find a livery that is very similar, if not probably better, on the Creators Club or the Train Sim community website. Hey Preston, hope you're well. Welcome. Where's my shout out? Oh, you got one. Well, we've just passed Ivy Bridge. We've got just under 10 miles to go to Totnes. Running sounds are pretty good, no loops from what I can hear, which is good. So yeah, I think the main things that need to be improved is that the in-cab idle sounds need to be certainly improved or better edited, and get rid of that hideous loop. Have some more branding in the coaches, man. That would be really cool if they could have that, you know, just like cross-country posters, route posters, you know, in the gangway or something like that. And this screen needs to be more, how should I say it, usable, let's say, because there's only one thing you can do with that, which is yeah, not great. I mean, is it better having it switched off than on? Yes, of course it's better having it switched on, you know, because that's how it looks in operation. But it just would be nice to, you know, press a few buttons, look at the stats of the multiple unit live. I think a branch just glitched through the cab then. But other than that, it's so far so good. There's another tree that's tree branch that just glitched through the cab. I think a few branches need to be cut on this section of the line. I think over time, once this gets layered onto other timetables, I think it will. The more it gets added to other timetables, I think it will be much more attractive to purchase. Because at the moment, one route is not enough. No way. Thankfully, like I said at the start of the stream, that will go up hopefully before the end of the year from one route to 3 routes. And hopefully many more to come in the future. I'm not sure if this is going to be added to the Great Western Express Remastered timetable. I'm not too sure, but the timetable's very much been kept under wraps as regards to the GWE Remaster. And fingers crossed that comes out before Christmas. That will be a nice early free Christmas present to us all, if you own the route, that is. It feels like it's slower. I'm not sure if it weighs more or because it is a diesel multiple unit that's, well, pretty old now. Entered service in 2001, so well over 20 years old. It feels slower, but that's not a bad thing. It's a very good cruising machine, I have to say. Just thinking to myself, have I ever been on a Voyager? Ever? Don't know, don't think so. I'm just thinking maybe if I went on holiday to, you know, the southwest, Cornwall, something like that. Have I ever been on one? I don't think I have, you know. I've certainly seen them around, like. Not like they're alien to me, like, ooh, what's that strange looking specimen of a train? I've just never ridden on it. They're slowly being phased out, I believe. I'm not sure. I think East Midlands Railway, they have some Voyagers, not 220s, I think it's 221s, and they're being phased out and replaced by what is it? Is it set of Class 800 trains? Is it? Can't remember. Or is it Avanti West Coast? Might be Avanti West Coast actually. I have to say though, it would be quite interesting to see what that Avanti West Coast Class 805 is like to operate when that gets released by All Aboard Studios. Bit of a pain in the neck. It's you know, an additional loco add-on. It would be nice if it came part of the Birmingham to Crewe route, because I imagine there are some differentiations with the 805 compared to the Class 801, the Zuma, or the GWR Class 802. Not obviously just in terms of, you know, colours and you know, seat maquettes and liveries and all that stuff, but maybe in terms of performance characteristics and physics. I'm not entirely sure. I think the formation of 805, is it just single 5-coach units? I don't think Avanti West Coast operate a 9-coach unit yet. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check with that. Let's see. Let's Class 805. There it is. Okay, so the Class 805 is a bi-mode multiple unit. Okay, my bad. I thought it was just an electric multiple unit, but it's not. Sad all, only 13 were built apparently between 2021 and 2024. Well, I thought there'd be a lot more than that. At least mid-20s, but there you go. Yeah, the Avanti West Coast Class 805, they serve the West Coast main line. Like I said, it would be, my view, no-brainer to include it as part of the Birmingham to Crewe route. But there we go. Might be because of the time period the route's set in, maybe. And the North Wales main line, okay. I like the livery of them though, I have to say. I think they look stunning. That blue, that kind of turquoise blue. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the 390 Pendolino. A modern classic. But the 805 is really cool. I mean, Avanti West Coast has got a nice little roster of high-speed trains at the moment, I have to say. You know, the 805 and the Pendolino. But I know which one I still prefer. I still prefer the Pendolino. Not just in terms of how they look, how they perform, but what they're like to be ridden on. They look like in a different. I mean, if you look at the seats and the reviews that customers have had when being in standard class, I think they have like 3 different classifications of seating. What is it? Premium, standard, premium, and then I don't know, business class or first class. But just looking at the seats, it's night and day compared to the hideous Class 802's ironing board seats, because they're hard as rocks. They even have headrests like on the side, you know, built into the seat. I mean, I know a friend of mine goes to Manchester, see family, rides those trains regularly, and he said the difference. You know, it's like, think of it like the Pendolino is like in the Premier League, and the Class 802 seats are like in League 2 or the National League, the bottom league in terms of comfort and quality. Okay, we're coming into Totnes, the first station stop. I've noticed the just pressing the signal, the guard buzzer on my controller, it doesn't work. Well, I have a controller, you have to press it, you know, actually press the button. Whereas with the 802, you can use the button via the controller's D-pad, instead of having to look around the cab and find the button. Stop here, what's it like? Good braking sounds, I have to say. Okay, so here we are at Totnes. Alright, the next station stop is Newton Abbot. That will be 7.5 miles away. Okay, speed limit has increased to 60, but will go down slightly to 55 shortly. God, I love the kind of rattling you can hear in the background when the unit is accelerating at full power. That sounds very realistic. I watched an in-cab video of the Voyagers in action, so I have a reasonably solid idea of what they sound like. In fact, there's one that just went by. There's a blind, isn't there? Does that work? Sounds good. Got a max speed limit there. Cab number 2 and the specific unit number. Got a fan there. It does work. Good, good. The upholstery of the seat is a little bit low res. I would have liked to have seen that been touched up a bit, but then again, when you look at it from a distance, it doesn't look too horrendous. I imagine there's going to be an absolute traffic jam at Exeter St David's if we're running very, very late. That SAL train there delayed by 15 minutes. Okay. So far so good. We're the only train that's, well, being delayed, I suppose, and the rest isn't. And all the other services aren't delayed as a consequence of me being slow and steady at the start, aka wasting time and looking around the train. Got a bit of sunlight coming through the clouds. Yeah, the run-by sounds aren't too bad either. But then again, I've got it at pretty much half throttle. Half its power output. See what it sounds like. I'm going to put it at full power. Pretty good. I noticed that when this thing was previewed, immediately what came to notice was that a lot of people were very pleased with the sounds of this multiple unit, inside and out, and I agree, it sounds pretty darn good. Again, like I said, there's still some imperfections that need to be cleaned up a little bit. We got a bit low on the speed limit. Yeah, it's good. Speed limit's increasing to 60 miles per hour shortly. Hey Ben Davis, hope you're well. Just taking a first look at the BR Class 220 Voyager. So far, I'd say it's pretty good. Pretty good. Hey Luke, hope you're well. Welcome. I'm going way too fast here, aren't I? Oh no, I put in an emergency by an accident. I'm an idiot. Oh, that's alright. All we have to do is just take the power handle out of the braking zone. Oh, that's pretty easy to recover from an emergency brake. Speed limit's at 60. Yeah, I mean the Voyager isn't too bad. I'd say it's pretty good. It's pretty solid across the board. Visuals, the sounds. There are a few imperfections with it. I would have liked to have seen some more branding in the coaches or the gangways. The interior, the cab idle sounds need to be not fixed, but just better implemented, let's say, because there's a very distinguishable loop in the cab when you're at a standstill. And finally, I think my other negative point I have about this multiple unit is that this screen here needs to be more usable, because it's pretty much useless. There's only, like, out of all the different buttons that you can press, there's only one you can press, which is a bit annoying. Other than that, it's pretty good. Textures are pretty decent in the cab as well, and obviously the sounds are very good. Exterior in particular, they're fantastic. So at the moment, do I recommend you get it? Not at full price, not until I think it's layered onto other timetables. Once it's layered onto more than one timetable, I think it will be worth its price, because it is a good multiple unit. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it adds quite a few services to the Riviera line. How many, I don't actually know, to be honest. It adds some scenarios which look pretty solid. Well, that depends if... Now it's time to use the emergency brakes. I'm too busy talking. Good thing we've got long platforms here, hey? Oopsie daisy. Well, at least I stopped on the platform. I was too busy talking. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the scenarios look solid on paper. That is, if you can complete them and if they aren't bugged and broken. But yeah, it's pretty solid. It's pretty good. Yeah, I've also noticed the exterior sounds at idle. They're looped as well. That's not very good. Sound is good, again, just needs to be edited better. The next and the final stop will be Exeter St David's, which is 14 miles away. And we're due in, well, we're meant to be due in 2 minutes' time, but we know that's not going to happen. Too busy dawdling at Plymouth, having a look around. Speed limit will be increased to 90 miles per hour. Hey Ben Davis, I swear you said hello earlier, but hello again. Right, we can increase the power to maximum and hit the maximum permitted speed, which is 90 miles per hour. HST just went screaming by. Brakes. Speed limit is going to decrease to 80 and then 60 miles per hour. Speed limit coming up. We're not too far from Dawlish. Ooh, overspeeding a bit. I'll have a sip of water, I think. Ben Davis, out of the diesel high-speed trains, I presume. Really like this one the most. Yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of a reputation, hasn't it? Some like it, some really don't like it. I appreciate it being in the game. Is it my favourite? No chance. Nothing comes close to HST for me personally. Because I have a personal connection with them. I've been on the HST many times when I was younger, and so I have that level of respect for the HST. But you know, the Voyager I like. I can't say it's my favourite, but I'm pleased it is in the game, because I know a lot of people have requested for it to be included in the series, and it's finally here. Yes, we could have had the 221 variant as well. But we've got the 220 Voyager for the time being, and so far it's a pretty darn good loco add-on. As far as the model is concerned, the graphics on the exterior, interior is a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, most of it is, you know, the textures are pretty high res. There are some areas that aren't very high res, unfortunately. And whilst the sounds are excellent recordings, some of them, particularly the idle sounds, both the exterior and interior, need refining. once maybe those issues are ironed out, let's hope so, fingers crossed, and it's layered onto other UK timetables, when it will be a much more luring, let's say, loco add-on. Be much more what's the word? Not intriguing. What's the word? Can't figure what the word is called. It would be a loco add-on that you will lust after. That's the word. Lust after. Because of it being, you know, usable on more routes, not just because, you know, you could chuck it on any free roam, but embedded into more timetables, which is realistic, of course. So yeah, whilst it's not my favourite, and I'm not saying it's crap or anything like that, it's a pretty solid representation of it. There's no doubt about that. It's a pretty good loco add-on. It's not my favourite, but you know, it's a very, very decent add-on, especially by Dovetail standards, as far as loco add-ons are concerned. I mean, the last loco add-on I took a look at separately was the Metrolink F59 PHR, and I absolutely loved that. That was a blast. I really enjoyed that. Same for the ALP 45. You know, it was my favourite locomotive in the NJ Transit fleet, and it was represented in a very solid fashion. The sounds and the usability of it were top notch as far as I'm concerned. Would it be cool if it was layered onto the Northeast Corridor New York Trenton timetable? Yes, hopefully one day that will happen. And to be fair, as it stands, out of the three like loco add-ons you get with the Digital Deluxe Edition, the 45 dual power locomotive is by far my favourite. The 294, I haven't German shunter. I haven't taken a look at that in depth yet. I do plan to do a stream on that in the near future. And you'd think it would be top of the tree for me because I love shunters and shunting in Train Sim World. But yeah, the 45 dual power locomotive and the Voyager as well, you know, they've set the standard. They've set the bar pretty high for the 294 to reach and overcome, and set the bar even higher potentially. Very responsive. I like that. You could like do a little tap dance on with the horn there if you wish. Speed limit will be increasing to the highest speed limit you can do, or highest speed you can do on this route, which is 100 miles per hour. Which is 8 miles away from Exeter St David's. No, that's alright, Ben Davis. No need to be sorry. I understood what you said, so it's okay. Open the window? No, I don't think you can you? No. No, you can't open the window. That's a bit of a shame. I haven't checked the other side of the cab there. I'll have to do that when I pull into Exeter. Should have a straight run into Exeter St David's now. Hopefully no red signals and hold-ups. No, there is a red signal. Another train that's delayed. I think that's behind us though. Fingers crossed. Just check. Where's the signal? Oh, is that it? No. Not even a Marsh Barton? No. Must be a red signal right out, just outside the station. But they've got a couple of greens, or a few greens, with just over 5 miles to go. I must say, for a diesel engine it reaches 100 miles per hour pretty quick. Thought it would take a long time for it to reach 100 miles per hour from 75. Right now we've got a yellow coming up, so strange, you can't see the yellow's signal on the map on the line that we're travelling on. There's a red there. There's a service at Exeter St Thomas. Right, I didn't clock that. Right, let's see what braking is like when we set the brakes to maximum. Maybe not. We got a yellow. The train in front of us will get out of the way. Has it left Marsh Barton? Yes, it has. Oh no, that's coming out a red signal. Damn it. What is it waiting for? Does it say what platform it's going to? Painting to Exmouth. What platform? Ah, it's going. Okay, cool. We won't have to wait too long. That's good. Whereas yesterday everything was practically at a standstill. All the trains were sitting at reds, and I had to delete a few just to get to Exeter St Thomas. I didn't even make it to Exeter St David's because I was taking so long looking at the route, and the service was so badly delayed. The game got confused and decided, right, we're going to stop all the AI trains in and around Exeter St David's. None shall pass or none shall enter Exeter St David's. And that's okay, because I got to do the service again. You're playing Sonic. Oh, Sonic Crossword Racing. It's funny that my cousin was speaking about that yesterday. He saw it on Xbox. He couldn't quite believe the price. Neither could I. I think it was like £65 on Xbox, which that certainly shocked me. I thought it would be way less than that. Unless you're on about a different title, then fair enough. Right. Okay, we're coming into Exeter St David's, the final stop. Very curious to know how many trains we've delayed. Actually, no, let's focus on where we're going. Not run through the red signal. Whoa, stop. Good braking physics, that is realistic-ish. It's so loud, the engines. It's hard to hear the announcements. Right, that took me just over an hour and 15 minutes, stopping at Totnes, Newton Abbot, and terminating at Exeter St David's. Will the game let me stay in the cab a little bit longer? Hopefully it will. Just want to know how many trains are delayed because of me. About to leave by the sound of it. Oopsie daisy. No, not many, thankfully. Whoa. Let me go. You don't hang around these trains, do they, at Exeter St David's? Yeah, so I think I'll call it a day. Don't think I need to do another run, really. Had my first taste of the Class 220 Voyager. Overall, do I recommend you get it? Yes. It's certainly a decent Loco add-on from Dovetail Games. At full price, though? Not quite yet. Hopefully, the issues that I've mentioned need sorting out, which I'll say again. The exterior, the idle sounds, both exterior and interior in the cab, they need ironing out a little bit. There's nothing wrong with the sounds. It's just a very noticeable loop. And it's really annoying. More branding in the gangways and in the coaches themselves would be welcome. And another good thing, and another issue I have that thankfully will be sorted, well, in a few days' time. More routes for it to run around on. Layer onto other timetables. Thankfully that is happening courtesy of the West Coast Main Line Birmingham to Crewe, which is coming out next week. And there are plans for the Voyager to be implemented into Alan Thompson Simulations Manchester Airport Commuter, and hopefully many more routes to come. So yeah, I think out of 10 I will give it, what did I give the Riviera line? I think I gave the Riviera line a 7 out of 10. I think for now I'll give the Voyager a 7.5 out of 10, which I think is fair. So yeah, that concludes my first look at the BR Class 220 Voyager in cross-country colours on the Riviera line. If you'd enjoyed it, then feel free to hit the thumbs up button below, and if you are watching for the first time, be it live or on playback, then I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. The next stream will not take place this weekend or next Monday like it normally does. Hopefully I can get a stream or two out during the middle of next week, whereby I'll be taking a first look at the extended and apparently upgraded Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden route. So hopefully you can join me for that. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.